Hi, today we have some bad news, some good news, and some more good news about New World. There is a new exploit, a very interesting PTR patch, and there is also a new free skin. Let's begin with the bad news to get that out of the way. Player trading has been turned off in New World today because of some form of dupe that is happening. However, different from how these things used to go, it's only affecting player trading between players. The trading post can still be used as normal. Also, according to an internal source that I have, this one was discovered extremely quickly after the first person actually found this exploit, so it seems that some automated system immediately picked up on the exploit. That's why they were so quick to respond to it. Though the devs mentioned in the forum post that they did get an internal warning as well as a player report. Since New World has a fair bit of a history with dupes, it seems like they're pretty good at catching them now, so this one will very likely not have any major impact on the trade economy. I personally couldn't find anything on the trading post at all that would have had an unusual price after this. In other words, the biggest economic problem remain the shell companies, which will likely be taken care of next patch. And speaking of next patch, a new patch was dropped on the PTR for Brimstone Sands, and this one is the Ennead Expedition Mutators. So you can now get a character with 625 gear score on the PTR, and you can play up to Mutation level 10 in the new dungeon. I've watched some people play it while I was still stuck downloading it, and I can tell you that so far it definitely looks like one of the more difficult expeditions, which to me is very exciting. I want more difficult dungeons. There's also a variety of changes to the expedition itself, mainly difficulty increases. I'm going to show that on screen right here very quick because I think most of you haven't played the new expedition yet, so this will probably not be that important for you. There's however a weapon change that is most certainly interesting for all of us, and that is to the Greatsword. Updated Greatsword homing to prevent missed hits from triggering due to movement and desyncs. This basically just sounds like a straight up buff, and I would think that stronger tracking or homing on a weapon like this would definitely be noticeable. Since I have to play the PTR on very high ping, it's relatively difficult for me to tell the difference, but I'm sure once the Greatsword hits the live client, it'll be much easier to tell how much stronger it really is. Hatchet also gets an important fix. The refreshing distancing throw perk will no longer reduce all cooldowns and will only affect social distancing now. Raffle Bones, the random world spawn mob that can drop rare items, is now a guaranteed spawn, but with a range for spawn timers. So it'll be much more easy to actually effectively farm him, as long as you're willing to sit in a spot for a very long time, I suppose. Another really annoying bug that is finally fixed is the issue where on occasion all vegetation and leaves would suddenly disappear and re-render. This one's very irritating when it happens, so I'm glad that they were able to fix that. There's a change to Brimstone Sands that is not 100% clear. Adjusted gatherable nodes in Brimstone Sands in response to PTR feedback. Now, this could obviously mean many things. For example, maybe they decided that there was too much platinum and reduced that. But what I think is most likely here is that they're touching the sulfur specifically. Sulfur is needed for both the new hard runes as well as certain rune glass cases, so there's a good chance it would be very highly contested. And sulfur is mainly made from sulfur chunks, which you get from brimstone, the actual resource that you can gather, brimstone, as well as certain mobs. So assuming the changes are to sulfur, they unfortunately don't tell us what they're going to do, if they're going to add more places to get sulfur, or if you just get more sulfur from each individual node, or something entirely different. So we'll have to wait and see and find out what's happening in that regard, but either way I'm hoping it is the sulfur, because otherwise everyone will be farming that and it's going to be a bit too contested. Aside of these changes, there are also a variety of smaller bug fixes and quest fixes. We're not going to concern us with that here, but generally speaking, there are a lot of things that should be working smoothly now that were not working on PTR before. Last but not least, there is also the new free skin. This is the Death Beckoning apparel, and honestly, I really like this set, especially the hat is really nice in my opinion. Very edgy, but very my style. This is the usual Twitch drop format, so in order to get this, you need to watch 4 hours of any New World streamer with drops enabled. In order to enable drops on your own account, you need to sign into Twitch, link it to Steam, and activate drops. I will put the link down below for the website where you can follow all the steps to activate everything in order to be eligible for the drops. I will also put a link for your Twitch inventory down below, so when everything is activated and enabled, you can track your progress towards the drop there, and that's also where you eventually claim the drop. If I get around to it, I might stream a bit in the next days, and you could get that drop from me. The link will be in the description with everything else. Now, I've talked a lot about Brimstone today, and I haven't really talked about what you should buy before Brimstone yet. That will be coming either later today or tomorrow. That's what I'm working on at the moment. If you want to know what I think you should sell before Brimstone, I will link that right here. That's a video I already made. The day after, we'll be looking at the Greatsword DPS and go to some calculations for that, so that should be very spicy too. If you'd like to see that, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell. Thanks for watching. SLOTH out.